you with it. Trap squad, trap squad, trap yeah, squad. I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, church trap, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.
We are live, all the way live. Thank you for joining us tonight to another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. I am one of your two hosts, and maybe three hosts. Marcus Farrell, all the way live with Pastor Benjamin Dixon. Hey, Benjamin, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, brother. Man, how you doing, man? It's good to be in the seat one more time for Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap.
Yeah, it is. It's always nice. It's always nice to be in the company of the theological master. And I'm having a good I'm having a good week so far. We decided to get started a little bit early because we've always gotten started a little bit late for y'all. So guess what? We just went ahead and got it rocking and rolling, man. We're gonna have another great episode. I believe we have a special guest tonight too, don't we?
Yeah. Coming up later on this episode, Dr. Carl Mack is going to be joining us to discuss his Black Heritage Day calendar app, as well as stuff that's going on, man. You've been well, what's on your radar? Let me ask that.
What's on my radar? Meaning what? Meaning personal
in the
life?
news.
Well,
yeah. I mean, we normally do start with pleasantries and how we doing in life, but I was jumping right to the news. But whatever you got, man.
I mean, I'm skyrocketing, my friend. Like, I feel great. I mean, it is what it is. It's been a really good month. So I mean, a really good month last month so far. Nice. Starting off excellent. Also, just thriving, surviving, making a little cash, and also, going out of my way to do a lot more. That's why I was so excited about our guest tonight, because I have been on my Black heritage spiritual history journey, and I've been trying to take as many folks from the clickbaity world to the Benjamin Dixon world. Hey, Shan, the Benjamin Dixon world, and just with us. Because here's the thing: with this administration doing and being what they're doing, right, and also just the ethos of where these folks are right now, you're not going to cancel Black history on me, not at all, right? Like, that's the easiest way for them to actually negate our history. If you watch Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap for a while, you know that I am a very strong proponent of reparations, and the one thing that they need to do to make sure we never get it, and I don't care how you feel about it, right? Oh, it's never going to happen. Well, it happened in Evanston. It's happening in California. I don't know why people are trying to negate this conversation. If we got enough money to spend billions and billions of dollars in Israel, then I don't understand why we can't spend a couple billion on Black American folks, right? And the numbers are already there. Neither here nor there. But one thing that we can't allow is for our history to be erased. Right. So maybe it's selfish. If you're a Black person and you watching Benjamin Dixon's channel and Marcus Farrell Live and Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. By the way, please subscribe to Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap and Marcus Farrell Live and Ben Dixon. If you're not subscribed to all three, it kind of sucks. But if you know this, you know that we're gonna keep it Black. I mean, it is what it is. And reparations to all three of us is important. Mayor Mondale, Pastor Benjamin, and myself. And I think we all need to know that Black history is just something that can't be played around with. And here's the thing: in this journey, Ben, I'm learning stuff that I never knew before, personally, right? Like I'm like, wow, really? There was a lady flying around. You know what I mean? Like there's a Black woman that was flying planes in the 1920s. Right. So yeah, it's a very enjoyable.
What's up, man? Nah, man. Listen, that's one thing I learned the most hanging out with Dr. Mack was just how much I don't know. You start digging into Black history and you quickly find out how much has been hidden from us, how much has been erased, how much has been intentionally ignored. Like you start to realize how many contributions Black people have made to every aspect of this country, man. And then you start to feel like, part of you might feel, for me, you feel a little bad because you're like, I feel like I'm supposed to have known this. But then you think about the just how much of our history has intentionally not been taught and how it's been limited to like, sometimes the big five, Malcolm, Martin, Rosa Parks, you know what I mean? Like the most notable names. And that's really what America has limited our history to. So yeah, no, I feel like every day when I'm listening to the app, or every day I'm learning something new, I'm like, man, it's just so much about our own history we simply just never knew.
That's right. And I mean, hey, listen, my favorite story was about Mary Bowser, the woman who was George Washington's slave that escaped,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like she escaped a president, right? Like she's 22 years old and escaped a president.
Wow.
She was like,
Wow.
I'm out. I did a video on it. That's why you guys need to subscribe if you haven't seen it, right? But I did a video on Mary Bowser and went to freedom, lived life as a poor woman from that point on, right? Lived life as a poor person from that point on. And Washington sent the Secretary of State to go and get her, right? When they found out where she went. And she was like, nah, I'd rather be poor and free than comb that white lady's hair anymore. So, so this is why these histories are so important. So, yeah. So, please like and subscribe. I got a couple stories real quick. We can
get into. Yeah, let's get into it. And then
listen, so Trump has decided to move the space station, Space Command from Colorado to Huntsville, Alabama. And we know what that's all about. Translation is jobs, contracts. The federal dollar is about to rain down on the South, right? So he's showing his most loyal supporters that I'm going to bring jobs to you, because you have to solidify that base. I mean, now all of a sudden Trump's probably going to be a hero to a lot of folks in the Huntsville area, unless you're a black person. But I mean, even if you are a black person to get those jobs, that's an amazing thing. Good thing for Huntsville, horrible thing for Colorado. The U.S. has hit a narco boat in the Caribbean. The military is blowing up boats linked to Venezuelan gangs, bragged about it like a Scarface on the director's cut. They claim 11 folks have been taken out from that. And then I think the most important thing is, because if you believe in humanity, Afghanistan is shaken by a 6.0 earthquake, and over 1,400 lives were lost. And whole generations were pretty much erased overnight. So that's like the major news of the day. We still ain't got them Epstein files, and I'm waiting.
Way to contextualize. And it's so important, man, because one thing these people are really good at is that they are going to, if we don't keep up with what they want us to forget, and the news cycle is going to do that, man. The news cycle is going to be so overwhelming that we're going to look up and there are stories that we know we wanted to cover, but we're missing now because of just how quickly the news cycle moves. I mean, you, in just those 3 minutes, man, you cover some major stories, right? Right. So we're dealing with Trump announces Supreme Space Command will move from Colorado to Alabama. And then we went through the Venezuelan narco terrorists, quote unquote terrorists. I put quote on terrorists. Anytime America labels somebody a terrorist, I got to pause and go and see what's the definition that they're using there. But that's that story. And then what happened in Afghanistan, and then all in the backdrop, yeah, one of the biggest things that's the surprising, and I don't know if surprise is not the right word. Revealing. It's so telling that the people who care the most about the Epstein files, now they all of a sudden you don't even hear not a single maggot talking about it now. When's the last time you heard anybody talk about Epstein?
It's because it's an automatic pathway to losing power, right? Like that's the automatic quickest way to lose power. Ben, I have to step away for 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right, do your thing, man. Take care of that. It is. Hey, everybody, you're stuck with me for a minute here. Mayor Mundell said it, I think maybe 4 weeks ago, maybe almost a month ago. And I was hopeful, but the reality is reality. He said it. He said, this Epstein case, it's not going to move the dial at all. And I had a hard time believing that because of just how visceral. I mean, y'all remember the reaction, and I'm glad Marcus brought it up because I don't think we should ever forget the reaction that MAGA had when Donald Trump refused to release the files. And then all of a sudden, like 2-3 weeks later, it's like, never mind. They're not even talking about it anymore. They moved on to the next controversy and the next thing that they're upset about. Completely erasing the seriousness of the Epstein files. I'm not gonna forget it. I'm glad Marcus brought it up, but I'm not gonna forget it, nor am I going to let that be something that we just wash away in the news cycle, in the memory hole. Tiger, thank you for the super chat saying, I think this announcement from Trump was an excuse for him to show everyone he's still alive. Boy, ain't doing so well. That's my part. Right. So over the weekend, everyone was talking about where's Trump, where's Trump, where's Trump. And because he really was missing for a couple of days. Nobody saw him for a couple of days. And then they put out an old video. I don't know if everybody was up on speed on that. They put out an old video of Donald Trump golfing and saying, see, no, he's fine. But that was an older video. And now we see he did come out and do a press conference today talking about the element that we just got through talking about with Huntsville, where, sorry, this is the wrong screen. Let's get to the right one. Trump announcing Space Command will move from Colorado to Alabama. The president criticized Colorado's laws on voting by mail and said they were a factor in his decision. Right. The underlying layer of this beyond, right, just beyond the political spin is the political punishment. The political punishment that Donald Trump is using to penalize anyone who was not a supporter, anyone who doesn't obey him, anyone who opposes him, anyone who stands against him, anybody who was involved in the impeachment process, anyone who was involved in the 34 felonies and all the rest of the other 70 some odd indictments, right? He is taking everything out. And so here, the president moving this because of Colorado's laws of this is his way of signaling to other states that I will take federal funding away from you if you don't do what I want you to do. This is a great question. TJ's asking in the chat room, what did Alabama do to deserve this? Right. Really, they didn't do anything but to be pro-Trump, be a red MAGA state. That's it. That's all you have to do to get these rewards from MAGA, to get these rewards from the federal government underneath control of Donald Trump. And this is how we know the America that was, that thing's dead. The America that was is gone. This is a new system. And it is a system that's at the service and the beck and call of Donald Trump's ego. Can I say that again? This is a new system, and it is a federal system that rewards people based on how they cater to Donald Trump's ego. Isn't it fascinating to anybody else how this entire system has converted away from even the founding fathers, right? I'm not a big fan, even though I got a book right here. I've been perusing. Actually, I finished it a while back, but I've just been looking at it again. The Founding Brothers. I'm a fan of the myth of the founding fathers, but we all know who they were and who they weren't. But isn't it amazing, Brother Marcus? Isn't it amazing how much Donald Trump has just taken the entire myth and legacy and the Constitution and the principles of the founding fathers and really just crapped all over it? And MAGA's just sitting there saying, yeah, do it again, do more, destroy America more. All the patriots are happily looking at Donald Trump use the power of the federal government to remove and to penalize and to punish people who don't do his bidding or serve his ego, violating, right, constitutional law, violating legislation, violating the power of the purse strings, violating Congress's power, right? It's one thing to violate the Constitution, generally speaking, but then you violate the purse strings of Congress, right? You're snatching away power from Congress. And here, MAGA congressmen are like, yes, please, please, daddy, do more. Slay King, take away more of our powers. All while poo-pooing on top of the Constitution. Welcome back, Marcus.
Listen, man, what they don't realize, I believe, brother Ben, what they don't realize is that this could bite them in the butt, right? Okay, let's talk about this for a second. There is Texas gerrymandering the districts has this is how this reverse kind of karma almost works for these Republicans, and what they're going to have to figure out something fast, and they're almost bloodlust to rig the elections. They redistrict, as we talked about, they have redistricted the as many seats as they possibly can in Texas. But here's the flip side of that: they weakened other districts.
Mm-hmm.
They weakened about 10 other safe Republican districts in Texas, right? Now things are in play, right? They also have Democrats doing something, and God, I hate saying this. Oh my God. They have Democrats actually being forward in policy instead of being reactive in policy now. I mean, I hate to be like this, love him or hate him. Gavin Newsom is doing what he's supposed to do right now. Y'all play that game, we'll play that game. And we got just as many people, if not more. Right? So the founding fathers enslaved people, and they're looking at they're probably in their graves looking up at the Trump administration like, damn, y'all went that far? we just had a couple black people in chains, man. Y'all trying to take the white folks out too?
Yeah, exactly. So, exactly.
Right. Right. So here's the thing, man. Like, I don't want to. I heard what you said. I was at the door. Car caught a flat. Didn't have a chance to fix it before this this show, so I had to order my groceries. To the gig economy, right? The thing that I want to just kind of emphasize when it comes down to where this administration is, two things. Number one, as much as I wasn't the biggest Harris fan, I ain't got no time to be litigating her.
Right.
I ain't like, and y'all know me. I mean, if you know clickbaity political thirst trap, you know I hold no punches for anyone who I think is close to neoliberal. But I ain't got no time to be talking that. I ain't litigating nothing with none of y'all. I did like, oh, Harris did this and Harris did that. Right now, I don't care about that. I don't care about it. Why? Because we don't have power. Now, do I want us to repeat the mistakes that we made by putting a Harris in, or somebody who, or having a Joe Biden who won't retire fast enough so a Democrat can win, or not holding a decent, fair election in the primary? Of course, I don't want that, man. I want to see a progressive-minded person in office. But to be litigating Harris this and Harris that, now I don't care. I want a little bit more of an exciting candidate, but that's my personal preference. If you support Harris, that's on you. You know what I mean? But I'm not going back to y'all fools about no Harris and they're all establishment money. No, I ain't got no time for that right now. And if you know my politics, and if you follow clickbaity political thirst trap for the last 5 years, when I say that, don't take that lightly. I don't care about that crap right now. Right now, we have a dictator in chief running around here putting tanks in black neighborhoods. Get your damn priorities together, folks.
That part.
I don't care what you say. Oh, Trump ain't bad. I ain't trying to argue with nobody either. Right? I like to fight. I might get beat up, but I like to fight. So I ain't trying to argue with nobody no more. You know what I mean? Like, that it is what it is, dog. I ain't even trying to be a tough guy. I'm just saying, like, I ain't got no time for that. So
that's the part.
Yeah.
No. I mean, cut you off, but thank you. That's the part right there. It's when you realize, when people slow down and realize what the score really is. What's on the scoreboard? What inning are we in? We're in the fourth quarter, and we're down Man, we down by not just one touchdown, man. We down by like 24 points. MAGA and fascism is running up the scoreboard on us in the fourth quarter, in the end of democracy. And we got people who are trying to direct our energy to relitigating something that literally does not matter right now in this fight. Litigating who did what during that election, it only matters as a function of how do we do better. But in terms of just the general conversation that people love to just repeat over and over again, nobody got time for that.
Man, listen, maybe it's the voter registration guy. I mean, maybe it's the understand this. When you do work like that, when you have somebody like a Brian Kemp as Secretary of State, not as governor, I'll give him props, but as Secretary of State, when you have a Brian Kemp that purges black people off the voting rolls, and you register 400,000 people, and you see them talking about doing different methods to keep us from voting, and then you see them messing with democracy. And I don't care. You can call me establishment. Call me an establishment hack. If you know, you know. I'm not. I got more smoke for them than I do for Republicans. Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't like moderate Democrats at all. But right now ain't the time. Like we got to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes again. Therefore, there needs to be like we can do two things at the same time right now. And what I mean by that is that we can find good candidates, maybe hold them accountable, but we don't need to relitigate anything right now. That is over with. That is over with. And you know how hard that is for me to say, right? Let's argue about reparations. I will get into that argument with you and who supports and who doesn't. I'll do that all day. How we get there, I can argue about that all day. That's an ongoing fight consistently right now. But when it comes down to I don't feel like hearing about Biden anymore. Like if somebody suggested, because somebody mentioned that Biden might be getting a Nobel Peace Prize. And I can already hear
what?
And I can already right that part. But here's the problem. I can already hear fools like, he's an establishment billionaire, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care if he gets it or not. I don't care. Right now, there are going to be tanks rolling down MLK. And see, it's all fun and games because everybody want to act super gangster and hardcore until it hits your neighborhood. Now I agree. We need to have some accountability from past folks, but because again, I'm always going to say this, Democrats and Republicans, they can be trash, but right now, Democrats are trying to protect democracy. Y'all won't ever hear me say that. I can't believe, but that's just where it's at. You don't know how real it is until you see, I had a cousin who literally saw a federal agent detain his homeboy in DC, just detain him for no reason. Wow. Just walk up on him and be like, and my cousin called me tripping out, that's what they're doing. Yes, that's what they're doing. And Trump has empowered the worst people on the planet. And listen, everybody in law enforcement ain't bad. You know what I mean? But on the same token, man, you got the federales going down Main Street, and they ain't in white neighborhoods. Them feds ain't in Georgetown.
That's right.
Them feds in Southwest. You know what I mean? And just because your black city hadn't got hit yet, or your black area hadn't got hit yet, what makes you think they won't? These folks are trying to push the limit of everything when it comes down to the Constitution. The Constitution ain't never been so soft in all the years America has been in existence. It's fluffy right now, right?
That part.
And if you're here in America, okay, this is something that I don't think should be argued over. Unless you dead president, unless you being like dead president, you down to run up on them in City Hall. Or you outcasting it, and you know they got some guns to shoot out from where they stay at.
I like this comment. Yeah. Dems and Republicans are not the same, but the centrist finds a way to blur the lines. And and it's here's what I think, and I know you're gonna do, Marcus, and I know I'm gonna do, but everybody needs to remember this. we need to get in formation and fight right now for democracy against MAGA. That means that we're going to be working with some liberals, and that's all right. What we don't forget is what and how we got here. We're not forgiving them. We ain't going to forget, right? But sometimes you got to work with folks that you don't necessarily want to work with, right? I'm not a fan of a great deal of the Democratic Party, but you're not going to find me wasting energy right now discussing that, except for, now, don't get me wrong, now you're going to find, and I know we're going to find the same thing with you, Marcus. When it's time to criticize them, we got some of the best criticisms, and it's going to hit, and we're going to say it, and we're going to make it plain and show exactly how Democrats were complicit with getting us where we are. But to sit around and just discuss it in a point of just, you know, kind of like a moral grandstanding is what I see a lot of folks do sometimes, man. It's like they feel better because they get to say, oh, either I told you so, or they should have done this, they should have done that, and or, you know, they whatever excuse they make to not go after the fascists that we're dealing with right now. I'm sorry, I'm trying to raise kids in this country. I can't sit around and allow democracy to die because people still want to litigate the 2024 election. Hell, people still want to litigate 2016, Bernie versus Hillary. We're not doing that. We don't have that much time left.
I always want to litigate that.
Yeah, well, we ain't got. Now
that left me with an emotional trauma.
It was,
but no,
it was.
Yeah.
But the point remains: we ain't got time to be arguing Bernie versus Hillary 2025.
I agree absolutely with you, Ben. And but here's the thing. So we can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. And this is what I mean by that.
That part,
right? Like, unless you have the sense of urgency to realize what's going on right now when it comes down to the Trump administration, I mean, I guess this is where it comes from me, because what I understand is what a lot of people have not experienced. I'm a veteran. I was active duty military at one point in my life. I could only imagine if somebody told me to march down Appalachian Parkway in Tallahassee. You get taught certain basics of the Constitution, and you got to take a constitutional oath to be a military member.
That's right.
Nothing in that oath says attacking American citizens, detaining American citizens. So that's where my sense of urgency is. These fools got the gall to take. And then here's the thing. It's a slippery slope, because then they can use funding to put more money into policing across the country, like Cop City here in Atlanta, right? To justify a continuous police state that only geographically targets certain area codes with people named Robinson and Smith. And I ain't talking about the rich people Smiths. I'm talking about Tyrone Smith and Marcus Smith, right? So that slippery slope cannot start. Fundamentally, that slippery slope cannot start to me, right? And there's historical proof worldwide that this is how tyranny starts. In many, many countries. I mean, doesn't it sound like that's why I made America's the richest banana republic in the world. America is the richest banana republic in world history. This country is operating like a banana republic. Look at the old school Venezuela and all those countries. No offense to those brothers who are Venezuelan right now, but you guys were considered a banana republic at one point in your governments. And you know what they were doing? They had a military that was in the streets. They had a press that was controlled. They were arresting politicians of the opposite party. Familiar?
Yep, exactly.
Or am I crazy?
No, this is, and just like TJ is saying here in the chat, he's copying the Viktor Orban playbook, play for play. What Viktor Orban did in Hungary, what Vladimir Putin did in Russia, he's gotten their playbook and he's implementing it. And there's not a set of Republicans that have the backbone or the testicular fortitude to stand up to him. They are all chasing. And you know what's crazy? They're all chasing behind him after the lust for power. Of course, they want power. They're all chasing behind him because most of them are built on the same white supremacist structure that runs his mind. So they love the bigotry that they love. Oh, I voted for this. I voted to see the occupation of black communities. I voted to see the United States Navy used to blow up 11 drug dealers, like instead of arresting them like the Coast Guard would and should, and give them due process. Now the United States of America is using our entire. I just watched the video, and I'm going to pull it in here of our Navy being used to obliterate on site traffickers. And then you have those people who look at it and say, oh, that's the righteous thing to do. They're drug traffickers. Why are you standing up for them? No, we're standing up for due process, which is the cornerstone of this democracy. And once you get rid of that, you give Donald Trump permission to do whatever he wants to do. And so based on the fact that most of MAGA wants power, most of MAGA wants money, and they'll follow Donald Trump no matter where he goes, as long as he give them power, money. You got the other third of MAGA who just loves the racism. That's all they want. And then you have another one who loves that he's bending and breaking the Constitution to give summary executions. They are going to want to see the government killing people in order to make a political statement, a moral statement, or ever their religious statement. With those three groups of MAGA backing Donald Trump, we have lost. And we're in the process of losing this democracy, man.
Yeah, I don't, man. Listen, man. I'm not afraid, but on the same token, like when you got a president that makes John McCain look like a leftist, when you miss the days that people used to even feign working on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
Not like they did it, right? And I can't believe Beto O'Rourke said something that I finally agreed with. He said, man, if we get power again, we making everybody legal. He said, when we get power again, and I don't mean whether you believe in it or not, but like I hope that goes towards black folks though. Like, okay, let me level set it right here. Don't redo democracy starting with other people first, right? And what I mean by that is if Democrats agree and believe, or the left agrees and believes that immigrants shouldn't be getting deported, then address it. If tanks have been rolling down black neighborhoods, then address it. If black folks have been put in jail for years, then address it in an aggressive manner. Don't half-ass it, Democrats. This is where I'm going to be making them accountable. Don't get power and then be like, yeah, we want to listen to them a little bit. You soft ass.
if a single Democrat, because check it out, what we don't even know, the way they work in the redistrict and gerrymander these maps on an off census year, the way they doing this, it's a possibility that Democrats won't be able to get power unless they pull moves like Gavin Newsom is pulling in California and other governors are doing. Fine. If we happen to get power back and democracy is saved, if we see Democrat, a Democrat talk about aligning and walking across the aisle with Republicans, y'all gonna get chased out of town with pitchforks and torches, because it absolutely makes no sense at this point to sit back and see how, because here's the thing. You can't triangulate your way back to the republic and to the democracy to undo the damage that MAGA did. Because every time Democrats come in, they might fix the economy, they might fix a recession, they might fix the deficit, right? They'll fix that. But they don't ever go in and undo the damage to democracy that Republicans did before them. That's because they're too busy triangulating with Republicans and trying to work across the aisle. You do not fix America by working with MAGA when you get back in power. You do not fix America by working with MAGA when you get back in power, Democrats, and you better govern yourselves accordingly.
The problem is they're too addicted to money. They're too addicted to billionaire investors that want certain things out of government. We haven't talked about that problem. Money in politics on the Democratic side is why we got Donald Trump, if you want to be honest. If you want to break it all the way down. The corporate interests don't have an interest in us as people.
That's right.
So the policies don't match that as people, right? Therefore, they come up with the most lame candidates who are afraid to say anything that will help people. Point blank, right? This is not I'm bashing Democrats, but I am, because y'all soft as hell. Right? Like y'all don't want to help people. Y'all, and to be honest with you, Republicans don't want to help people, right? And then the biggest victory this year so far in politics was the Democratic primary in New York. And all that guy was talking about was helping people. And y'all went up there and spent $2 million against them just because. You dig what I'm saying? Show me you want another Trump presidency. Show me you want another Republican president. I'll tell you how you do that. You start pushing people who don't want to do anything. Gavin Newsom might be a handsome white man from California, but Gavin Newsom also has his problematic ways about helping people. I think it's dope that he's doing what he's doing logistically when it comes down to tit for tat with these congressional districts. But bro, before you run for president, you better learn how to help people, because other people in other states don't care about you doing that in Congress. They care about a job in Florida and Georgia and South Carolina, these states where you need to win to become president if you plan on running, which I don't think is one of the best ideas. But I mean, whoever gets that primary, whoever wins the Democratic primary or the Green Party primary or whatever party primary, right? I'm not leaving y'all out, independents, whatever. Whoever wins it and gets in it, y'all better figure out how to actually talk for people. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. So yeah, tanks rolling down streets in America right now. Like feds using technology we plan to fight space aliens are using it against a brother with a Jordan jersey on in Southwest DC. Right? Like this technology wasn't planned to be used against American citizens. You know what I mean? Hell, it's bad enough that they're using ShotSpotter to spy on black neighborhoods as we speak. Bet you didn't know that. Y'all know what ShotSpotter is? Ben, you know what ShotSpotter is?
What's a ShotSpotter?
ShotSpotter is the technology where they triangulate where guns are.
Okay.
Where shooting is. So in a lot of major cities, I think Chicago has.
Oh yeah. You mean like when the sound when a gun goes off and the sound and the AI recognizes where it's at and they try to locate it. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. They have, but they do it. They use it for more than that. You know, you got to think about it. There's technology right now where they've been listening to protesters from outside of their house at the end of the block, tapping into their phone calls with radars and crap like that. Yep.
Literal tanks.
Rolling past a dang 7-Eleven. Man, I can't even burn my green out here, man. Y'all rolling by with tanks.
Look, man.
Look at this.
That's crazy, man. And to think the level, because now I just shifted and say, like, what have you heard from Hakeem Jeffries on this? Because I ain't gonna lie, I've been off the grid. I've been off the grid for the last 2 days, so I don't even know what's going on right now. But has Hakeem Jeffries spoken out about this yet?
I don't mess with Hakeem right now. I know he's
because he ain't do it. Because I'm not feeling like he's in a moment like this when he's the Democratic leader. Where is he at?
To Donna McDonald. I hope you guys over there on the Ben Dixon side of the house really do come over there on my side of the house and to Marcus Farrell Live and clickbait and subscribe, because I talk about that right there. It's the sellout parade. like y'all, these black and dim strategists told them not to talk about DC. We're gonna have to have Shan on the show. Shan be knowing stuff. I'm 1,000%. I'm 1,000% certain. And why? Because look, there's black Democrats that like they don't value our vote. There are still strategists right now in DC who think we need to flip white votes instead of turn out the black ones that you have. Right? And yes, okay, we started this whole conversation off with we ain't gonna bash Democrats or whatever. Yes, they deserve this smoke because they're not doing the things that need to be done to galvanize what people are really pissed off about, right? Like
that part.
Think about it. When Black Lives Matter was blowing up and black men were getting shot and it was getting publicized because that ain't stopped. But when black people were getting shot and taken out from police violence, a presidential election happened and they acted like they didn't even want to talk about it. They acted like the most that was the perfect time to pass all the John Lewis acts and all the police reform acts, and they were like, no,
none of it got exactly.
Right. But hold on. But we could pass a military budget that buys a $2 million tank like the one we just saw, probably even more than that. We got about 200 of them, if not more than that, maybe 700, 800 of them, right? We got $1 million tanks, and they're not even where they're supposed to be. They rolling out on the American street on some Joe Arpaio type stuff, right?
They too young. They too young to remember Joe Arpaio. Oh man!
If you listen, if you remember Joe Arpaio,
and make sure to go get your colonoscopy this year. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that's right. The city was called La Paz, Arizona, a little town right off of, I want to say, 210 in Arizona. My homegirl used to be the mayor of that town. Yeah, if you remember Joe Arpaio, then leave him in the comments. If you need to get a refresher on Joe Arpaio, then go look him up. And he was the most worrisome, evil, and he got beat. By he got unseated. Right. And shout out to Arizona, man. Listen, y'all have been flipping seats out there in Arizona left and right. The only thing that is left to do in Arizona is to flip that house. We got to figure out how we do that. But and other states need to take notice. I mean, the West is becoming more and more blue as we speak. New Mexico, Colorado's already there. California's already there. Arizona is already there. Right. I'm gonna be afraid that it's gonna end up being that a whole half of the country is gonna be Democratic, and then like a couple of blue spots in the other side of the country. I want to see some green spots, though, man. I can't lie. I know we're not a big time third party. I want to see some tactics from these third parties, man. I do. I want to see y'all. I want y'all see y'all raise your registration or either come on over to the Democratic side of the house and kick them out, but that company doesn't like y'all at all.
Oh man.
Where's our guest at, man?
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe I did not do what I was supposed to do on my end, so we're gonna have to let's go ahead and we'll bust the move, man. If he happens to show up, but I think it's my fault, man. I think I didn't do the invitation right. Oh no! But I want to ask you a question, Marcus. Yeah. Think about everything. What was your first election that you worked on? What year was that?
Okay, volunteer 2007.
2007.
I was still rapping then.
Wow.
First paid position. 2009 for a month, and then my first real job in politics was 2011.
2011. All right. Now, I want you to think about from that first election you worked on, think about the candidates, right? Think about where they are now. Think about the people who started in that cohort with you, people who were just getting brand new in politics then and where they all are now. Think about the state of American politics and where the state of American politics has changed to now. Does that make you feel like it makes me feel like when I was riding with my dad in the car and listening to people talk about people who got into politics in the 70s. I feel like I've been in I feel like I've been in this politic game so long, participating, either volunteering, doing, even before getting into commentary. I done seen so much happen and so much has changed in just the last 20 years of politics that it's hard to even recognize where we are anymore as a country. It's hard to recognize where we are in terms of the technology. Like think about 20 years ago. 20 years ago, put us right. What 2005? The internet was getting, Napster was still on the scene. You know what I mean? MySpace was
Yahoo chat, bro.
Just think about all the stuff that has changed since we got into politics.
I met my ex-wife on Yahoo chat.
GeoCities, bro. GeoCities and Black Planet. You know what I mean? Just think about all the things that have changed since you got in. Do you see how much the world changed just since you got in politics?
No, I gotta completely disagree with you, Ben.
You don't feel the change?
No. Let me tell you why I don't feel the change.
Why is that?
Because all my life I had to fight. No, what I mean by that. No, if you just understand where I'm coming from on this, right? Okay. This is why it ain't changed for me personally, because it's all the same crap to me. It's just it got a lot worse. Just follow what I'm saying. In 2011, our biggest enemy wasn't the Republicans when we ran, and you were down there in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Our biggest enemy was not the Republican Party when Alvin Brown became the first black mayor of Jacksonville, Florida. Our biggest enemy was the Democratic Party of Florida, who had sent resources and endorsed the white woman moderate Republican.
I remember that.
Hold on, pause. Now, you asked me if things have changed. This is 2011, bro. And I remember driving from Jacksonville to my hometown, Tallahassee, cussing the whole way. Like these efforts are going to get us some support. We had to beg them for support. They didn't support us. We ended up Alvin Brown ended up raising enough money to hire 70 people to go knock on every single black door in the city. And it was the biggest upset in the primary. Now, the Democratic Party had no choice but to support the black person. But again, things haven't changed. Alvin got elected, and what did he do? He ran straight to the money. Love Alvin to death, but he became that corporate Democrat that was not necessarily the same Democrat that he promised people to be when he was running for office. Didn't take nobody with him. You ask me if things have changed. That's been the story. Nothing has changed to me, right? Like, I'm sorry. It's
and not the game. The game always remains the same, but just think about all the stuff that moved underneath it, right? Think about all the different variations. We done had multiple Browns who were in politics, made good promises, and now you look at them over a 20-year arc. That cat definitely changed. He definitely wasn't what he was when you first met him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you look
Alvin was establishment, bro. Like
when you met him,
what happened? Huh?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right, all right. So I just this thing, man. I'm just realizing, man, time don't wait for nobody. I ain't feeling nostalgic at all, but what I am feeling is like the shifts that have taken in this country, and not just in the political tip, right? Even just the technological tip. I mean, the shifts that have happened in our lifetime. We went from, and I know you remember before the internet. You remember before when it was dial-up. You remember America Online used to get the little disc in the mail. You remember all that? You put that in, and you can go on the internet, get access to the internet. All that is.
I'm not
all that is.
Myself with you, boy. I don't know what.
Come on, man. Nah, listen. Come on.
No. You remember the colorful apples? You remember the colorful apples? You remember the big, huge laptops that you had to.
Remember floppy disks that were this big? You know what I mean? Like Like we have gone through, and so just like the technology has changed underneath us, man, the role players now. And now here's the thing: like you still got some, literally, you have some of the same politicians in positions of power over the last 30 years. And that's what never changes. So you got to think about it. If our political office and people holding these offices are not changing, and they've been there for 30 years, right? But everything underneath it has changed. The technology has changed. The lay of the land has changed. The way we engage in politics has changed. Then, of course, you're going to have a whole set of political leaders who are holding power on the side of the Democratic Party who are completely clueless as to how to operate today, because you still got people who are the same people there from 30 years ago, 20 years ago, right? But everything else has changed underneath them. How are they keeping up with the changes that are happening? How are they keeping up with what MAGA is doing now? How are they keeping up with the new techniques? And this is how we play and get behind the 8 ball. This is how we're always having to play catch up. This is how we never have people who move forward. I get that most of them are establishment Democrats, but I think a good portion of it is some of them don't even realize what's happening to them. I think some of the people that are up there are just so oblivious to what's going on. Other half of them are getting money. Other half of them are corporate and establishment. But you got people who are just there who aren't seeing the significant changes that are happening right underneath us. And the world is moving on while we have leaders who are still trying to govern like it's Bill Clinton's era.
Man, you give these people way too much credit, man. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. The whole country can.
Who's that lady that just died? Who was that lady who just died? She was 90 years old in the from California. Feinstein? What is that? I done forgot her name that quick. Feinstein.
Yeah, you passed, man. Listen. They know exactly what they're doing, because the world can burn and crash if you already have a mansion and a boat and a spaceship to jump on when the earth burns up. Like, you listen, man, they not like us, right? And then they have gaslit us to a place. Democrats and Republicans have gaslit us to a place. They've gaslit us to a place where we actually think that you got to be one of these rich people to run for office, right? And let me tell you something. If America was where it was supposed to be right now, my black behind would be in Congress. If America was where it's supposed to be right now, Mondale would be governor of North Carolina. If the world was where it's supposed to be right now, clickbaity political thirst trap wouldn't just be a regular show, and the algorithm would have picked us up a long time ago. There was a conversation from the left, like from Republicans, are like, why does the left doesn't pay their streamers the way that the right does? I got an answer for that. The reason why is, number one, we don't need it. We can actually build it up ourselves. But there's a bigger reason why they don't give us enough money to be rocking these shows and enough advertisement the way that the right has. It's because rich people don't want us to be all right. They don't want voices like this to actually exist. And they all are a part of the same club of people. 20-year, 30-year congressman is cool with the billionaire, and he dictates where that billionaire sends their money. Meanwhile, the American citizen in the black community has gone down in net worth since in the past 20 years. Tie in inflation. We don't keep it real about our economics. We don't keep it real about how the crime bill really has impacted Black America, and there has not been any kind of rectifying of that since it happened. We don't keep it real about how there has been no kinds of reparations for a crack epidemic where brothers didn't even know chemistry like that. How did the guns get in Chicago, man? Like, come on, you got to do better than that. These boys got rocket launchers in Chicago. Who? How? They have never left. They have never left the South Side. Them boys ain't left 76th, 95th, the West Side, right? Oh yeah. So when we say they're not like us, these folks have gaslit our older generations who are our highest amount of voters too. I'm sorry. It's not disrespect to my elders, but I'm sorry. Y'all voted bad for the past couple of years, man. Y'all did. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. You can't, you know what I'll say it. You can't tell me Hillary Clinton was going to be better for black people than Bernie Sanders. I'm not trying to relitigate that. What I'm talking about is, yeah, Bernie might have been racist. So I can understand some people's argument. This is coming from his former black outreach director. But on the same token, you can't tell me them universal policies that Bernie was talking about wasn't going to impact the black community better. Nobody can make that argument to me. I bring that up because it's like we tend to, the money people have paid off black leadership to do the most establishment things, and meanwhile the black community has gotten nothing from it. If I'm lying, tell me where it's changed. I need to know. I need to know where I'm wrong in that conversation, Ben. Maybe you can help me out, because I'm trying to win an election. I'm trying to win an election. I'm not like I'm trying to beat the fascists, but you can't beat the fascists by doing more or nothing. I wouldn't even think it would be funny if they brought up another Obamacare again. We're just going to fortify Obamacare. Let's run on that. Damn it, I gave you my idea.
I don't know that won't be enough. It would be something. I mean, how many people are willing to even admit that we are underneath and moving towards an actual fascist regime, and do they even know what that means?
I'm sorry. Up y'all, Marcus. Bernie was a fraud. Stop mentioning him.
Let's see.
All right, put it on screen. I like this. I like this part of the show. Okay.
Go for it.
Hillary was a fraud. If Bernie was a fraud, Hillary was a fraud. And I believe they both would have did exactly what they said they were going to do. But don't be an idiot and believe that somebody who's talking about universal health care is a fraud. You know how many people right now they're up y'all? You know how many people right now still can't afford health care to have Obamacare? Richest country in the nation. Now, you know what Hillary would have supported definitely? The war machine. She was about that life. About that life. So stop sitting up here playing around, bro. Like, I can't mention Bernie. I'm going to mention anybody who talks about universal policies that will help Americans. That makes him a fraud. That makes me supposed to stop talking about him. Out of here, man. I really don't care what you got to say no more up y'all, because like a person who doesn't believe in I'm not talking about him as a man. I'm talking about the platform. A person who doesn't believe in Bernie's platform is a person who really doesn't like America. You don't like your fellow citizens. Are we doing right now? Haven't we had a Hillary Clinton styled presidency before? A neoliberal led America? Haven't we? Have we tried that? Has that worked? Let's see how that worked. You want more of the same? Let's see how that works. Let's see how it works. No, I'm not. I'm trying to. I'm being cool, y'all. Ben, you know I could go off right now, but I'm being cool. Yeah. Let's see how that works. How has that worked out for us? Or are you a fan of repeating the same thing, thinking you're gonna get a different result? You know what that's the definition of? Insanity. Insanity. Yeah, we can fight fascism, but we need a more progressive type candidate that believes in the type of policy that Bernie believes in. I argue with Bernie Sanders more than anybody that y'all know. What are you talking about?
Man.
These folks all upset about Bernie. You know what? Then I guess you're mad about AOC. Oh, yeah. No. All you got to do is just say Democrat. Well, Clyburn told me to vote for her, so that's the mentality that y'all have. I'm not sitting there capping for Bernie. I talk about Bernie in a way of policy. Policy alone. Bernie damn near destroyed my career. The people around him did. But I can't fight his policy. The only thing I disagreed with, he ended up changing. That was his stance on reparations, man. Y'all gotta stop capping, man. Y'all think y'all like y'all have a lot of people have a lack of nuance when it comes down to like how to discuss politics in the modern era. Bro.
Yeah.
They just do. And I'm not trying to argue with y'all.
It's because they get their shorthand. They get their shorthand from your media, the media that you consume. Unless you spend a lot of personal time researching it, most people get their analysis from the media that they consume. And if their media that they consume has been one that's been still stuck in Bernie versus Hillary since 2016, I don't know what to tell folks at this point. Like we should be well past that. We should be well beyond that.
I'm beyond that. My argument about Bernie in general is straight policy, right? And guess what? The neoliberal, so let me stop saying Hillary because it hurts y'all little tiny ego. So let me stop saying the word Hillary, okay? Fine.
Neoliberal. No
more Hillary from Marcus. If I'm your bad guy, then I'll be your bad guy. I'll be the face of your oppression. Let me be the poster child for your oppression. I'm down with that. But what I'm saying is not wrong. Neoliberal policies, which a certain candidate have not helped out Black Americans. I'm not even talking about white Americans or middle-class people in general. Let's talk about my people right now for a second. Bernie's policies have been studied and proven that they would have helped out our lifestyle. It's been proven. There's science behind it. Get your feelings out the way of a name and start looking at the policy behind things. Good Lord, man. Yeah, they're in the chat room litigating Bernie versus Hillary. I'm litigating policy versus policy. I'm litigating more of the same. Matter of fact, how about this right here? Do you think that in the year of our Lord 2025, another neoliberal is going to motivate all the people who didn't show up last time to win?
Do you think somebody in 2025 who's a Zionist is going to be able to win?
But this is what people think, Ben. This is how people act. Like the vote blue no matter who crowd is crazy to me. No, vote blue to make sure the right blue is in. Vote for the right person in the primary. It's that simple. Hear a policy. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Stop going off of what Jim Clyburn says. Stop going off of what establishment figures says. Stop going off of, well, he know Obama. Okay. Well, he know Bill Clinton. Okay. Does he have good policies? Ben, am I wrong here, man? Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. Because
Nah, it's that's listen, the reason I don't want to have to litigate it. I don't want to have to go through justifying, explaining, because at this point, if they don't get it, then they're missing the through line. The through line is this: we have been on a collision course with our present since the Democrats have started to fake representing workers. When the Democratic Party started faking representing workers instead of actually representing workers, we have been on a collision course with fascism ever since. Now, is Bernie the paradigm, the ideal perfect person? Was he ever the perfect person? No. Matter of fact, the first video I think I ever did on Bernie was explaining to folks why he was going to lose. Not because I didn't like him, but because I understood that he had a problem communicating on race, right? So Bernie was never perfect. But did that stop me from supporting him because of his policies? Absolutely not. I wanted his policies. I needed him to be better. I needed him to be better at communicating to the Black community. I needed him to do way more than he did because I needed his policies to get in. And so if people aren't recognizing that it's the policies underneath that mattered, and because the Democratic establishment, the neoliberal wing, has been running the opposite direction of those policies, at least for the last 40 years, at least, I keep forgetting how old I am, at least the last 45 years, they've been running away from those policies. And what has happened as a result? Every election, America got a little bit closer to fascism. The next election, get a little bit closer to fascism. Why? Because of Bernie? No, because the Democratic Party from unfortunately, I have to throw my main man in there, Jimmy Carter, to Bill Clinton, to Barack Obama, and I loved Obama, right? But I couldn't love his policies because his policies started to reflect the same thing that Bill Clinton did. Now, did he do different? Did he do a little bit more, a little bit less? Obamacare, sure, great. Thank God for Obamacare. Obamacare was a Republican policy. So there, even in his crown signature jewel achievement, here was
Mitt Romney
Barack Obama. Mitt Romney and the Heritage Foundation. There Barack Obama was, and his biggest accomplishment was moving us closer to the Republican Party. Healthcare industry still started to make record profits, didn't create a policy that could withstand the attacks of the Republican Party, gave the Republican Party all the places that they needed to destroy Obamacare, and it got worse. Every time a Democrat plays with Republicans instead of opposes Republicanism, it got us closer and closer and closer. And all the way through, all we needed to do was to take care of workers, and we would not be where we are right now. So to me, it's got nothing to do with Bernie as a man. I'm tired of talking about him as a man. I'm talking about the policies that he represented, and we could have been somewhere far better than this dark, grim reality that we currently live in. There would be no Donald Trump president if the Democratic Party had been taking care of workers since they claimed to be taking care of workers.
Come on, Ben Dixon. But you know what? I'm about to mess up all these I hate Bernie people. You ready for it? I'm just going to mess y'all up real quick because it's so easy to do. Y'all so addicted to neoliberal policies that sometimes you can't even get your head out your butt. So let's just call it Jesse Jackson policies.
The boom. Because his whole platform was taken directly from
he said Jesse Jackson. Let's just call it Jesse Jackson. Let's take Bernie. Let's forget that I ever said Bernie Sanders. And I'm saying Jesse Jackson. You know, the one that y'all run to every time y'all want to get affirmation about you being the proper type of Democrat. Let's go to his presidential platform in 1988, 1984. And then let's just sit it side by side. You know the only difference between their platforms? Jesse came out with reparations.
That's right. That's right.
So I will no longer say Bernie Sanders when I mention progressive platforms. I will now.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be the best play, Jesse Jackson.
From this play forward, I will say Jesse Jackson. I'm going to hurt your little feelings. I'm going to hurt your little feelings.
No, I say you keep saying
what the argument is.
I say you keep saying Bernie Sanders. And keep juxtaposing.
Yeah. So where's the move now? You can't go against Jesse because Obama like him. You can't go against Jesse because Hillary like him. Because
his policies are right. Because his policies were right. They were right then. They were right when Bernie took them. They're right now. They were right when Obama rejected some of them. They were right when Hillary rejected most of them. They were right the entire time for what America needed. If America had implemented Jesse Jackson's platform in 1988, whether he was the president or not, we would not be in a fascist America right now.
Listen, this is the most inconvenient truth for some of y'all neoliberal loving people. It's the most inconvenient, and I don't want to relitigate this stuff. Ben, you're absolutely right, but it's not about the person. It's about what's going to motivate people to vote. It's that simple, man. If Jesse had a ran right now, oh my God, if we had Jesse Jackson 84 running for president right now, God. If he had to win up against Harris and Biden and
in 2020, especially, oh my goodness,
my God, it would have been a landslide. It would have been a landslide. Oh, look, people quiet now. Oh, you quiet? Oh, you quiet? Oh, I brought up Jesse. Now you.
That was okay. Listen. Like it's not often. Marcus, it's not often that you get to close the door on a political conversation as robustly as you just did the entire Bernie conversation. Because if you hated Bernie, then you had to have hated Jesse Jackson, because we're talking about policies. We're not talking about personality. I don't like personalities in politicians. What are their policies? And the policies of Bernie Sanders were one for one the policies of Jesse Jackson, with one major problem, which is why he lost. He didn't support reparations out the bag.
Bro, if he had supported reparations out the bag, and trust
it would have been a wrap.
Hey, when I flew into Burlington, I had it on my mind. Like, oh, yeah, go march down this office, go meet Bernie Sanders, go talk reparations.
3 years later.
Well, I'm on MSNBC. Yo, he didn't listen to a word I said.
Hey, man, listen up. Now we just got to compare and contrast you. Nobody else. Just think about you back in 2014, 2015. When was the first time we had a conversation? I was living in Boston, and you were.
That was 2015.
2015, right before right at the beginning of the primaries, man. You have changed. Like, you've gone from bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, excited, and hopeful about all the things the world could be to where are you now?
I'm crusty, grumpy. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
My face is what you look like when you're on a toilet. That's I was so sweet.
You were so. I remember the train I was on when we had our first call. You were telling me about Bernie's campaign. I remember the train I was on, and you sounded so hopeful. I was like, man, I believe in Bernie because this guy sounds so enthusiastic about Bernie. I said, let me figure out who Bernie is. 3 years later, we were in Atlanta in that game room. Remember that game room? We met up.
Party. It was an after
somebody was having a party there, and man, you were so traumatized. You traumatized me. I had to go drink. I said, man, I need some liquor after this. The stories you told me about your experience on that campaign, I left the room shaking like this because it was so traumatizing.
And you know what's amazing is I had many an opportunity to become a very famous black man if I had gave that story up a little bit earlier, right? But progressive policies were more important to me than bashing Bernie. I hate to be like that, right? But like, there was a moment in time where I could have probably been on MSNBC for the rest of my life, right? If I had just decided to go ahead and just trash him, but I couldn't do it. And the reason why it wasn't loyalty; it was I was loyal to the progressive
policies. Yeah, the cause. I
was loyal to the policies, right? So I think a lot of people get that confused. And let me just troll these folks one more time. Jesse Jackson.
You know what's bad though? Wait a minute. You know what's bad? I'm gonna say what's bad. Do you think it would have helped if we had that talking point, that clear, that clean cut 10 years ago? Because honestly,
that's a good point.
Honestly, how many people could we have shut down 10 years ago if we had that talking point?
Oh man, it would have been so many people. It would have like that. Like, in hindsight, if I had have done enough research while I was on that campaign, that would have been my pushback to Bernie so black. Yeah, he is. His policy came from Jesse Jackson.
Come on. God, I wish we could take back time. That right there.
We would have switched the whole narrative.
The whole timeline would be the whole American timeline would have been different if we had known that response right at that moment. Hey, Bernie's so black, he got Jesse Jackson's policies.
Yeah, Bernie's so black, he got Jesse Jackson's policies.
Yeah.
Just so shout out to Up, y'all. I appreciate you having the conversation, but I noticed you stopped talking about Bernie as much as soon as I said Jesse Jackson, because you can't do nothing about that. Hurts your little feelings. Talk a little boy. Hey, listen, man. I don't care.
Good show, man. Good. This is good, man. I enjoyed it. Well, hey, listen, start everybody. I promised Dr. Mac too. It was my fault. I did not send the link in time in the right place. That was me. I've been off the grid, so that's on me. We'll get him on, but he'll be on to talk about Black history as soon as I can get him on here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And by the way, we don't like Trump, right? Is he the worst president in history? He's working his way there. I still think that there's one president that beats him by the name of Andrew Johnson.
Okay,
but that's because it had
Andrew Jackson. Johnson.
No,
the Trail of Tears.
Jackson. No, the guy after Lincoln. And
the one who didn't finish off Reconstruction.
Yeah, no, he repealed it and he stopped our 40 acres and a mule. He repealed it.
Yeah, no, I can rock with that. No, I think Trump is going to supersede him. I think
a soft response. Now you're getting weak. You're getting weak up, y'all. Your responses are getting weak. You're soft, boy. You need to do a better job. That's not it. That ain't hitting.
Your arguments need to grow up. Mature your arguments a bit.
Yeah, the dog, he's not doing it right now.
But I'm triggered. I'm not gonna lie, Marcus. I'm triggered. All of the brilliant stuff that we thought about back in 2016. We ain't never thought about saying Bernie was so black.
The HBCU tour, all that stuff. All I had to do was just say, yeah, he's so black. He got
his Jesse Jackson's platform.
That would have changed the election, bro.
That would have changed world history.
That would have changed world history.
That's now right, I need to go drink. I don't even drink no more. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the biggest, and we're not exaggerating here. The biggest hurdle for Bernie, and everybody said it at the time. We said at the time, you worked to help prevent it, but the biggest hurdle was Bernie could not and did not connect with the black community, and they attacked him on so many ways. They attacked him. They attacked him from the area.
No.
What you got?
The biggest hurdle was they had a conglomerate to do that.
Yeah,
they had a conglomerate built to do that. DeRay talking about, and I love DeRay. That's my boy. But DeRay talking about, Bernie's so black. Black people shouldn't say that. Listen, I had to. What's your boy name that made the case for reparations?
Ta-Nehisi.
I had to talk to Ta-Nehisi. Like he's like, there ain't no black people over there. I'm like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I had to actually talk to Ta-Nehisi. Like, dog, I'm black, and there's a whole bunch of black people that are on this campaign.
Yep.
That's right. You know what? I don't even feel bad. Y'all want to blame me for the destruction of the earth? Y'all can go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all.
It ain't just you. But no. Think about the collective consciousness. We missed one. Because I think what we're saying ultimately is, and I'm taking this in for myself. The answer to some of the problems is just is the right connection. Simply the right connecting of the dots. Jesse, Bernie, black, problem solved. We missed it. We ain't gonna miss the next one.
Way to do it. Hold on, but you know what? To my credit, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all a story that not many people know. So I had an office in Atlanta during the Bernie Sanders campaign. I had to beg for it. I said I ain't want to go to the Mecca, and the blackest part of the Mecca, which is Edgewood. That's where we put our campaign headquarters. If you know, you know. We had a black African American outreach headquarters was on Edgewood Avenue.
You and the blackest of the blackest, yeah. That's
the blackest area you could be in. Paid them about, I don't know, they made some money on it. I made sure they made money. I made sure I upsold the campaign. Y'all gave that $27 to some black folks. Trust and believe. We made sure that black folks got money in Atlanta. So I'm down there and I get called by everybody. I'm getting calls left and right from all kinds of news reporters. And I go and I do an interview. I do my first interview. It was meet the black man behind Bernie Sanders. Something like that. And listen, when the article came out, like there was folks like, wait a minute. Because this is before all the crap came out. He got a black team. He got this, that, and the other. Jeff Weaver.
Yeah.
Calls me up and tells me don't ever do any press without my permission again. Now he's right. But also, y'all are terrible in the black press. So I had to question him. I said, so exactly what did I say that went wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You know what he said to me? You're making the campaign all about you. And it's because the article said meet the black man behind Bernie Sanders' black outreach efforts. Tiny ego white folks who run politics sometimes, and I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, Jeff, but you deserve this one. You were one of the reasons, you and Simone were one of the reasons why we didn't do adequate Black outreach, because you thought, and no offense to against Simone, but you thought that just putting a Black woman on television was your answer to 50 Black pastors that are running around the South. No, we had to do a lot more stuff, man, and they just did not want to do that. They didn't. Yeah. And when I'm talking about a brother with his hands tied behind his back, right? Yeah,
you were too stressed, you know, and that still falls on Bernie and them, because you were too stressed. You were not in a position. You were too busy trying to convince them to do the basic stuff, to do the practical stuff, for you to be. You didn't have the bandwidth. They didn't make room for you. They did not create space for you to be able to sit back in your office and just contemplate and think, and then boom, it would have came to you 10 years ago. Boom, Bernie so Black. That doesn't come when you trying to argue with people about getting enough money to do Project XYZ, or when Jeff Weaver's in your ear. That don't come when that only comes when
Bro,
you
I had to, hey, listen, I had to beg to leave Vermont.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Why I'm here? Why am I here? Right?
That's
like,
hilarious.
I mean, listen, it is campaigns are campaigns, right? And we all learn our lessons, right? Whether it's outreach, whether it's bad targeting, whether it's not having enough time. I do feel bad for the Harris campaign because Biden put them in such a predicament to not be able to actually set up their machine and go run. And there's a lot of things that stop it. But here's the thing. We got now to do better going forward, right? I don't need to be having no arguments with some dummy about Bernie's a fraud. Bernie ain't running again.
That's right. That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? I can have an argument about policies that will motivate people to work, motivate people to go and vote. Democrats or the left spending a couple $100 million less because the platform is so strong that everybody's naturally graduating to it. People are registering to vote because they believe in the platform. Oh, wait a minute. What am I talking about right now? Well, am I saying something wrong?
You're spitting the truth.
Like, yeah, that's it. See, so if you're making a dishonorable argument about Bernie Sanders after what we said tonight,
you got no ground to stand on.
You got no ground to stand on. You're soft. You're soft as a wet paper bag. And you're probably soft in real life.
Come on, man. You got. Why you doing our audience members like that, man? Let them people live, man. You
ain't gonna trash me.
You ain't gotta assassinate these people on. Oh, man.
In real life.
Mark, it's been a great show, man.
I had fun tonight, Ben.
Yeah, man.
I had fun tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I had a good time, man. Good time. And now I got to sit back and just reflect. I got to really sit back and say, and look at all the dominoes that fell. What if we had come up with that 10 years ago? We were doing some hard work. Yeah, your team did hard work on the team. We were doing some hard work in new media. That's when I first met Anoa Chonga. That's when I first met the majority.
Amazing,
oh my goodness. We were doing some great work back in 2015, 2016. And a lot of the work was focused specifically on how do we translate these progressive policies to the Black community so that they can understand that they needed to vote for Bernie Sanders, not because he's such a cool guy, but because of his policies were the right policies. And out of all that work, man, we ain't come up with what we came up with tonight. It is what it is.
It's almost like it's no long, like, hold on, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There are an onslaught of people who have the same platform as Bernie Sanders.
That's right.
So we can.
So don't let us drop the ball now.
Yeah, we can use that argument right now against the neoliberals that are actively doing that.
Right. And trying to use.
They're losing it. They don't have a ground to stand on as it is right now. Anyway, they know they suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know they suck. And you know what's blacker? Medicare for all is blacker than moderate policies. Ooh, why? Because
that's right.
Why? Because Jesse Jackson made it.
Why? Because Jesse Jackson says so.
Reparations is good. You know why?
because Jesse Jackson stuff. And he's still with us, and I ain't trying to plan nothing, but don't let that brother pass away, and we get the power of him becoming an ancestor. I wish you a long life. I wish you a long, healthy life, Jesse Jackson. In the name of Jesus, I pray. But whenever that time comes, lionize the fact that he stood on these policies. And who are you? How black is you? You blacker than Jesse? I don't know about that one.
Oh, by the way, if you're interested in seeing a video from the Clickbaity family on this, please go on Marcus Farrell Live and Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, because there is a whole beautiful video right now on the Jesse Jackson 1984 campaign if you want to find out more about what he was talking about. And I also mentioned the fact that he did it. Oh, you brought it up anyway. Hey,
I stay ready, bro. I stay ready.
Oh, you got ready this time. You want to watch one real quick before we go?
I stay ready. I don't get ready. I stay ready. Hang on. Where's he at on here though? Where how far down is he?
Things they don't want you to know. Keep going. Ooh, I got a lot of videos on there. I didn't want to.
You been putting out
there
some
you go,
stuff,
right
man.
there. Right there in the middle. No, go back up.
Oh, right there, right there.
Yeah, right there.
Welcome to What They Want You to Forget, episode 2. Jesse Jackson's presidential platform. Just turn my fan on because I already know I'm going to make somebody uncomfortable with this one. That's all right, though. This ain't personal. This is historical. So let's talk about the real progressive blueprint that they don't want you to remember. One that was sketched out 41 years ago. One that came before Bernie, before AOC, before the hashtags, before the think pieces, before the squad was even born. This ain't about Bernie or AOC. This is about forcing conversations that moderate Democrats and their big money backers absolutely do not want Black folks having their family cookouts, barbershops, or on the congressional floor. This is about Jesse Louis Jackson, y'all.
Jesse Louis
ran for president in 1984 and again in 1988 with the platform so unapologetically Black, so visionary, so people first, that even today, most Democrats are scared to touch it with a 10-foot policy pole. Now, let me break it down. Jesse Jackson's 1984 campaign and movement. His platform was about universal health care, not this patchwork, premium filled private insurance please nonsense. He was talking real Medicare for all before y'all could even say Obamacare. Free public college, because knowledge should be free, not another debt trap. A federal jobs guarantee, not just job training programs with fancy names and no real paychecks. Raising the minimum wage, back when it was a bold demand, not a performative tweet. Reparations, yes, reparations in a presidential platform. Jesse Jackson had the audacity to talk about compensating Black people for centuries of stolen labor, wealth, and life. And he said it out loud on the debate stage in front of white America in 1984. Let me say that again. Louder for the CBC members sitting too close to defense contractors. Jesse Jackson ran for president while saying reparations. So what the hell happened? Somewhere along the way, we traded the Rainbow Coalition for the corporate coalition. Black elected officials stopped running with Jesse's torch and started running from it. We started prioritizing who could raise the most Wall Street money, not who could raise the standard of living in Southside Chicago, in Jackson, Mississippi, or in East Oakland. Our community started following candidates who were safe for white moderates, but dangerous for our future. And too many of
man, Marcus, that's a good one, man. That's a good one.
Listen, hey, while you're at it, if you got a TikTok account, please go to Marcus Farrell Live. Y'all saw all those videos that I had. Just go back to that last page real quick. If you want some dope content, your boy Marcus has been tatted. I have a lot of good content over there. So please go over to your TikTok account and follow Marcus Farrell Live right now when you get off of this thread and go see all the stuff that we've been working on. And I mentioned Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap quite a few times on this. I think we're going to call it in. You ready to call it in?
Hey, man, let's dial it in. Let's phone it in. Doc, it's been a great evening, great stream. Looking forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Listen, you have... Go ahead.
I gotta address this comment. Progressives have never won a fight against fascists. Why y'all gonna make me defend anybody right now? I don't like to defend nobody but Black folks, but you do know that it was Russia who were far left, so far left that America called them communists, so far left that their policies while they might have been authoritarian, a little Stalinist and all that, but their economic policies and structures, the whole point of the Russian Revolution was a far more progressive system than capitalism. They were the ones who ultimately defeated Nazis. America did a huge contribution, but Russia were the folks who actually defeated Nazis. So, yeah, I'm going to need y'all to know your history just a little bit better.
Hey, man, you know what? Leave this up, y'all, is a troll, but I like him as a troll. You know why? Because he's not smart. So we get to like just look really, really smart by like him commenting. So you're like one of the trolls that I want on the page because we could just listen to you talk all day and have
communists are not progressives. Communists are not progressive. Like, what do we?
No, stop.
Unless you're talking about the authoritarianism thread that you can find in communism, just like you find in capitalism. Unless you're talking about that, because I agree. If you're talking about the authoritarianism of communism, I agree in that way. They're not progressive, but neither is capitalism in that way. America is, folks, y'all don't really want to talk about policy.
Now,
anyway.
we don't listen. You have been watching another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Man, we come here to bring you Black first. We care about our people. We love you. Trap Squad, Squirrel Gang, we love you. We do. You guys have been rocking with us for a long time. Ben, I appreciate you. Man, let's get up out of here.
Hey, man, let's get out of here. We'll do it next time. All right, man.
Trap Squad, 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 Trap Squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live to on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it.